Hey, treasure and fans, your pal Big D back here again with another Steelbook update. Now, I've shown you the ones for my DC collection, and I've shown you ones for my Marvel collection, and now this one is for probably one of my bigger subsets of the Steelbook collection. This is my horror collection, so these are all my horror Steelbooks. Now, this does contain also a few TV shows that I have that are Steelbooks as well. Like I discussed in the last two videos, what I like to do is I have a really large Steelbook collection, so instead of being all at once where you're all sitting there for an hour, 2 hours like that, looking at every Steelbook where you may fall asleep, I decided to break this up into smaller sets so it'd be easier to watch and be able to see everything that I have. So, yeah, these are no order. I just pulled them off the shelf. So let's just get started. And it looks like I'm going to start off with the two Steelbooks that I have that are DVD Steelbooks that are in the horror genre. And so they are, the first one is Death Proof. This is a DVD Steelbook. Nothing really in the back. It's, you know, Quentin Tarantino, great movie. And then the other one I have is Planet Terror Steelbook. Again, DVD Steelbook. Nothing on the back. Kind of generic, you know, back in the day here. But still interesting. I think the Death Proof one, as you can see, has a lot more to the cover than the Planet Terror one does. But, you know, pretty cool Steelbooks. Not bad for DVD. So, all right, let's get into the Blu-rays. And I'll start off, it looks like, with my TV sets. I do have a few TV sets. So the first one I have is, I do have Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 on Blu-ray Steelbook. It was a Best Buy exclusive, obviously by the sticker. Pretty cool back to it. Really love this series. Really bummed it was canceled. Next we have, where'd it go? There we go. Next we have The Walking Dead, the complete 8th season. I put a piece of tape on that. So, really cool Steelbook. I really like this. This was a Target exclusive. But very, very cool. I'm a big fan of this show, so there's that Steelbook. And then I do have the complete 6th season of The Walking Dead Steelbook. And as you can see between the Steelbooks, first let me show you the front and the back. The thing is they started getting a little bit more wiser, so they went down to the standard kind of Blu-ray size, whereas this one got like a double set. Very interesting Steelbook packaging for this one. I actually found this at a used record store, and I just had to pick it up because I thought it was really cool looking. So there's those two. So I think that's it for my TV Steelbooks. Now let's get into my movies. First one I'm going to show you is The Train to Busan. I love this movie. This is such a great movie. Saw it on, I want to say HBO, and just absolutely fell in love with it, so I had to get it. So I actually have a couple different versions of this movie now. So I love the Steelbook. The front. There's the back, but I love this thing. Great movie. Next, we have Alien Covenant. Yes, I know most people rip this movie apart and say they didn't really like it. I thought it was fun. I don't care what people say. I really thought it was fun. I got a good kick out of it. I liked a lot of the characters in the movie, and it was just cool to see kind of like the Xenomorph's home planet. So there's the front, and there's the back. I love the back. The back's pretty cool. Very simplistic, but the alien head coming out. So I got that. And then we have one of the John Carpenter collections from Scream Factory, which is Prince of Darkness. This is a great movie. I've been a big fan of it since I saw it back in the 80s. Really cool flick. Donald Pleasance. Scream Factory does really cool stuff with their cover. I mean, just look at how beautiful this is. Look at the other side. Look at that. It's just really amazing artwork for these things. So, a great movie, too. If you've never seen it, definitely. Donald Pleasance is awesome in this movie. You definitely want to check that out. Next we have, and a lot of people rip me apart this, I'm actually a big fan of this movie, and that's World War Z. My wife hates this movie because she says it's nothing like the book, and it's not. I've read the book, and it's, I mean, there are certain stories that kind of take from the book that they kind of intertwine this movie, but more or less it's kind of a standalone, and my wife just thinks it's nuts, but I love this movie. I really liked it a lot. I thought it was really well done. You know, there's the front, and then there's the back. So, World War Z. Next we have, and I got the special edition of this thing. It's Night of the Demons Steelbook. I got the one with the doll that came with it. Love this book. Love this movie. A buddy of mine back in college, I was working at a mom and pop video store, and he's like, "Dude, you've never seen this movie. You've got to see this movie." So I took it home, rented it, took it home that night, and I fell in love with it, and I have loved it ever since. It's all about Angela, and the cast of characters in this movie is just over the top outrageous, but really good. Just a great movie. If you're looking for a good horror flick with some gore, but it's a little bit of comedy mixed in and just some, you know, good 80s camp, this is your movie. All right, next we got, and so last year Not Walmart, but Best Buy released a series of kind of like pop art collections of some older horror movies, and it was on their end cap for a while. So some of these, I got a few of those. So first one I got was Return of the Living Dead. I had to get this. This is one of my all-time favorite zombie movies. So I saw this and had to get it. Just really cool. Not much to the back, it's kind of on the back, but I dig the cover, and I love this movie, Return of the Living Dead. Then next we have the same collection, Jeepers Creepers. Another great movie. I wish I would put the sequel with it. I actually like both movies quite well, but this is a really good movie. Again, not too much of a back to it, but you know, I really like this movie a lot. Really cool. Good premise. I've never seen it in theaters. Fun movie. Just fun movie. Next is a movie that came out last year, and that is A Quiet Place. And this is the 4K Steelbook for this one. Love this movie. Matter of fact, I just read yesterday that filming has started on the sequel to this. So really curious to see where they go with this. I'm not quite sure if it's a prequel or a sequel. I think it's a sequel, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm really seeing where they go with this, because this was a really, really good movie. You know, in this day and age where you rely so much on sound and effects and stuff like that, for a movie to be so silent throughout the whole thing, but really nail you with it, you know, really have an impact on you. It was a good movie. So there's that. All right, next is, this came out last week, which is the last Saw movie, which was Jigsaw. What was this, 8 or 9, I think it was. Really like this movie. Interesting premise, how they kind of brought it all back. Neat steelbook. I don't think the steelbook went over too well, though, because I remember Best Buy had this for months. Matter of fact, I think I still saw one, not recently, one at Best Buy I walked into, but I really enjoyed it. I like the steelbook. I think it's a cool steelbook. So there's Jigsaw. Next, we have another one of the John Carpenter from Scream Factors, and this one is The Fog. Another great movie. Adrienne Barbeau, can't go wrong with it. I mean, just look at the detail they put in these steelbooks, man. Scream Factory really hits a home run every single time. The front, and there's the back. I mean, they just do a really good job. And this is another really great movie. Yes, there was a sequel that wasn't so good, although I kind of enjoyed watching it. This is obviously far superior. Great movie, really well done. John Carpenter is best. So The Fog. Next is another John Carpenter one from Scream Factory, and this ranks with one of my favorite movies of all time by John Carpenter, and that is They Live with Roddy Piper, rest in peace. Love this movie. I mean, just look at the cover. It's so cool. Got the whole obey and stuff like that on the back. It's all obey, you know, and it's just good stuff. I mean, this is a great movie. Any movie that comes in and says, I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum, has got to be on one of your top 10 lists. I mean, this is just a fun, great movie. Good plot, and just, I don't know, it's just probably without a doubt the longest film fight scene ever. The fight scene between the two guys in the front here lasts what seems like 20 minutes. So it's great. Good stuff. If you've never seen it, you definitely should check it out. Next is The Meg 4K Steelbook. This came out last year as well. Love this movie. Just watch this movie again. I just, man, yes, it's a shark movie, and yes, you can't take it very seriously, but really good effects this movie, and oh man, I really love this movie. I mean, I just had so much fun with it. Actually saw it in D-Box 3D, which was incredible. They actually had pretty good 3D with this. So The Meg. All right, next we go to another Scream Factory. Scream Factory one again, although not John Carpenter. This one is Army of Darkness. This one kind of rides a line because it is technically horror, but at the same time it's pretty much comedy too. But I thought I'd throw it in there. Just look at that cover art, man. That cover art's awesome. The Deadites in the background, Ash getting ready to do his business. The back is it's the evil Ash. Man, it's just good stuff. I mean, Scream Factory does such a great job with their steelbooks. So there's Army of Darkness. Next we have, these are part of the Warner Brothers collection that was released last year as kind of a, I don't know, they're doing it again this year in August too. They're releasing a few movies, random older movies in steelbook, but this one was from last year, The Shining. I had to get it. I'm a big fan. As you all know, the sequel is finally coming out with Ewan McGregor. Not too sure how I feel about that, but it looks interesting. It does kind of take the premise of the kid in this movie. He's all grown up now, so we'll see. I sometimes sequels that are so far apart in years don't tend to do good. We'll see. I'm keeping my hopes high. Anyways, there's the front. And I love the back. Just Jack Nicholson going, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you." So there's The Shining, and next is another one of those ones from that end cap from the pop art ones, and this one which was filmed here in my hometown, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I have a couple different copies. I do have the Arrow version of this, the limited edition Arrow version, but I just had to get it. I just love the cover. The cover is amazing. All the color and everything on this thing, this looks awesome. Now, of course, not much on the back, but this is just a fun movie. If you've never seen it before, it's kind of zany. It's got some questionable acting, but it is a lot of fun to watch. So, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Next is another one from that pop art collection, and that is Jennifer 8. Again, just an amazing looking cover. The colors are just beautiful in this thing. Back, of course, nothing. But I actually really like this movie too. It's a little slow in places, but it is a lot of fun. It's kind of a typical genre movie, but it is fun. So Jennifer's Body. Next is probably, you know, what started it all for a lot of horror fans, and that would be The Evil Dead, the first one. I'd love to get the second one in Steelbook, but The Evil Dead, great movie. Really love it. Introduces us to Ash, who we all know and love now at this point, but really good movie. I like the Steelbook. It's the front cover is really cool, and the back's got that extra color to it, extra pop to it. I really like this Steelbook. So Evil Dead. Next, we have another one, part of those pop collections, and this is The Fly. Now, this is not the original from the 50s, I think it was. Vincent Price. This is the remake with Jeff Goldblum. I love the Jeff Goldblum remake. I think it's awesome. It's all about Brundlefly. Really good. Look at the you just can't go wrong with the detail on these things. I think it was part of their El Dia de los Muertos collection, because it's all very much Day of the Dead type situation. So, but really love this movie. I've always been a huge fan. David Cronenberg does a home run in this movie. Really, really well done. It's got some amazing effects in it. You've never seen The Fly, you definitely should check it out. And then next we have another one of those pop art collections, and that's one is The Hills Have Eyes. And this is the remake. Another cool looking. It's got, if you look in there, you can see the mushroom cloud from the nuclear explosion, stuff like that in there. It's really cool. Nothing on the back. But enjoyed this movie. Although it's a remake, the first is still far, far superior. But this is still a fun film. So it's Hills Have Eyes. All right, next we have another one of those pop art collections, and this one is Wrong Turn. Again, just look at the brutality in the cover. Where what I love about these things, they kind of show little parts of what happens in the movie in there, but you don't really realize. You have to really look at it. But another great cover with these things. Alicia Dushku's in this. I probably said that wrong. In this movie, I do like this one as well. I haven't seen all of them. I think they're up to like 6 or 7 on the Wrong Turn movies now, but I do enjoy this one. So, Wrong Turn. All right. Next, we have probably one of my favorite movies of all time, and that would be Predator. That's right, Predator. Love this cover. I think it's really awesome. I love the back with just the stabbing of the scorpion. I mean, just awesome. I love this movie. Love, love, love this movie. Predator. Next, we have, and I just picked this up recently. This is the 4K edition of it, and this is Alien, the 4K Steelbook. I think I should do this a while ago, but I do have 4K Steelbook. Again, just an amazing cover on this thing. I love the color. All these have so much color, so vibrant. They just, I mean, some of these are like presentation worthy. Like you could put them up on your wall. I mean, it just looks so nice. So there's Alien. Then next we have, oh yeah, the Scream Factory edition. This was for Halloween 2. I had to get this one in the announcement. Just look at the cover on this thing. John Carpenter. I mean, this just rolls, man. The front, the back, kind of with this Laurie Strode hiding behind what looks like a water fountain right there, trying to hide from Michael. It's just a great movie. I am a big fan of this movie. I do like it. It's not as good as the first one, obviously, but Halloween 2. Then, of course, to follow that one up is The Silver Shamrock, which is Halloween 3. Probably one of my favorite covers. I love this because it really encapsulates what happens in the movie, just the front picture. And you got the back as the kind of the robot guys are coming towards you, and you know, it's just really, I love this movie. I really do. I know it's nothing, has nothing to do. The only way it has anything to do with the Halloween series is the fact that they show he's sitting in a bar watching TV, and they're giving an advertisement for Halloween playing on TV on Halloween. So really great movie. It is and it isn't part of the Halloween series, but as a standalone movie, I absolutely love it. So Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Next we have, how funny is this? We do have the sequel that came out last year, which basically did away with all the other Halloween movies. So this is a direct sequel of the first one, which is the New Halloween. Again, I love this Steelbook cover. The front is okay to me. It's the back I really like. That pumpkin looks just so messed up. I love it. I love this movie. I'm stoked. Jamie Lee Curtis has recently announced that they've been in talks to do another one, which I'm really excited about. I hope they do. I was skeptical of this one because Danny McBride was writing, and he, to me, don't get me wrong, I love Danny McBride, but he has to do a lot more comedy. But this was really good. This is a great direct sequel to the original movie, and I really loved it. So Halloween. And not to be outdone, of course, I had to have this. I do have the original Halloween in Steelbook. So this is the original 70s classic Halloween, the front cover and the back. They actually did a digibook of this with the same cover a few years ago. But I do love this, and I had to get it. It's Halloween. Not to be outdone by that, but I do have also the Rob Zombie's Halloween on Steelbook. Again, really cool. The front to me is kind of, I do like the back though, because they do put all the cast of characters back there, and it kind of gives you a glimpse of what the movie's about. So really like that. It's a good Steelbook. I really like this Steelbook. So Halloween remake. Now we're done with the Halloweens. Now we go to the Predator 3 movie set. This is all three, the first 3 Predator movies. Yeah. First 3 Predator movies in this set. Love these movies. I love them all. I love all the Predator movies, whether it be with Danny Glover or, you know, whoever. I mean, these are fun movies. I like Predators. I thought it was an interesting concept to go to one of their planets to see how humans survive there. I've always really been a big fan of this series. So there's the front, and the back kind of shows you some of the weapons and stuff like that. So really cool Steelbook. Next we have the original It on Steelbook with Pennywise the Clown, played by Tim Curry. Again, I'm a big fan of this miniseries. I remember seeing it on TV as a kid, and it actually scared me. Not anymore. I mean, you watch it now, it's kind of like, wow, really? But back then, this was a really fun movie. I really liked Tim Curry. Did an amazing job as Pennywise. Was very, very creepy. Not much to the back of this movie, but I really do enjoy this movie, and I watch it at least once a year. So there's the original It. But not to be outdone, I do have the 4K edition of the remake of it. And this is actually part 1, because part 2 comes out later this year. This was a Best Buy exclusive. I love this one. It's just very sinister looking. And the back is very plain, but just George's little boat floating down the road, just amazing. I love this movie. What a great remake. They just did a really good job. I'm really looking forward to the sequel coming out later this year. Let's see here. Next is the original Resident Evil on Steelbook. Always been a big fan of this movie. It's one of the first movies I saw with my wife together after we started dating. Big fan of this movie. Back's kind of generic, but love Resident Evil, so I have Resident Evil. Next we have, and this was the remake. This is not the original, but the remake of Piranha. Yes, it's extremely cheesy, but we got to take it for what it's worth. It is a cheesy flick, but I really do enjoy it. Had a lot of fun with it. Good fun movie. So the back is about the same as the front. Not too much to it. Although the bottom, if you look at the bottom, you can see the Piranha coming in and starting to chew away. So great, nice Steelbook. It's actually a really nice presentation Steelbook. So Piranha. Then next we have Zombieland, another great Steelbook. And actually, this is not even a Steelbook. This is a metal pack, as you can see by the sides there. See, it has doesn't look like the original spine of a Steelbook, but got the metal pack. It's got this from Best Buy too. But I love Zombieland. The back kind of plain, but it does have the shadows of the characters running through, so it's pretty cool. But do love this movie, Zombieland. Then we got, wait a minute, what's this? Another Predator movie? And that's the last Predator movie that came out in a 4K Steelbook. This is a Best Buy exclusive also. I like this Steelbook. The back's pretty plain, but the front, I like that because just of all the skulls making up his head. I think it's a really cool design to it. And I did have fun with this movie. This movie isn't by nowhere means the best in the series, but there is some great elements to it. There's some fun parts to it. So I did enjoy it. I did have fun time. So Predator. Next, we go back to those pop art collection again, the Dios de los Muertos. And this one is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I actually really like this movie. I thought this was a lot of fun. I think it's a cool looking Steelbook. Interesting take on Abraham Lincoln, you know, but I really did like it. Again, not much on the back, but fun movie, and the Steelbook's pretty cool looking. Now we have another one from that line. Looks like we have another one in that line, and that one is Child's Play, which I know the new Child's Play came out this weekend to pretty decent reviews. I'm kind of surprised. The trailers that I've seen, I have not been with it. It's Chucky being completely CG rather than being the actual doll. That's what was so creepy about this movie, was it was a doll. It was an actual doll that they interacted with. It wasn't some CG character. You know, it just felt real. So that's what creeped me out so much about this movie. But I really do enjoy this movie. I have a couple different versions of it, but I had to pick up the Steelbook because just look at the cover. I mean, it's just awesome. Back again, nothing, but awesome. Child's Play. Next is a collections video. So a collections set. So this is the entire series of movies of this one, and this is a Best Buy exclusive. And this is the Underworld collection. So this is all the Underworld movies in one. I love the front cover cover. It's got Celine looking up at the moon with the wolf and the picture of the moon. The back just kind of very simplistic, just picture the moon up there with the wolf in it. But I love these movies a lot. These movies are really cool vampire flicks, vampire slash, I guess, werewolf flicks. But love these movies a lot. I'm really excited to get them all in one set. Came with a digital copy of all of them too, so I have all of them digital, so it's pretty sweet. Next is another one that kind of rides the line. It is horror, but it's technically comedy as well, and that is Shaun of the Dead. Can you really go wrong with this movie? I love this movie. It's one of my all-time favorite zombie movies. Just a great movie. You got the front here with the broken record, and the back you got, what to say, it's just one of those days when you're feeling a little dead, you know. And it's true. I love this movie. It's such a great movie. If you've never seen this, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Remember when it first came out, I was only in Europe for a while. I remember I got a bootleg out of Europe to see because my wife and I wanted to see it so bad. So, Shaun of the Dead. Next we have, and this was the remake of the 30s classic, which is a remake of the 90s classic, which is The Mummy with Tom Cruise. I'm actually a big fan of this movie. If you kind of just take it for what it is, I thought it was fun. Yes, there's a lot of problems with it, and I think they try to cram way too much into the first movie, but I really did enjoy it. It's got a cool steelbook. Really like it, so got that one. Next, we have another collection of steelbook with all the movies from the series in it, and that would be the Best Buy exclusive Resident Evil collection. I had to get it. It's all the Resident Evil movies. I love the cover. Look at the detail on the cover and all the characters and stuff like that on there. The back, the big umbrella sign on the back. You know, I love these movies a lot. It's some of my favorite zombie movies, and it's one of my favorite series. So, Resident Evil collection, and it came with the digital copy for all those too, which is sweet. Next is the original Phantasm. God, this is such a good movie. I am not kidding you. This is a really, really good movie. I remember seeing it in the late 70s. My dad had rented it. We watched it, and I just fell in love. And I've loved it ever since then. I love all the sequels, even though some of the sequels kind of go out there a little bit, but it's a lot of fun. I love the back. It's just the two pillars going into the alternate world. You know, it's just great movie. Very simplistic, but the ball. I mean, you just can never go wrong with that. So, Phantasm. Next we have, and I was dying to get this for a while, and I really wanted to get a copy of it. I finally managed to pick it up, and that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm trying to get at least the original of every major horror flick from the 80s. And I mean my major horror flick, I mean like I want to get like a Nightmare on Elm Street steelbook. I want to get, obviously I have Halloween, but I want to get like Friday the 13th, all the big like monster guys from the 80s. I want to get at least a steelbook from each one of their collections, just as a hobby type thing. But this one's so awesome. We got Leatherface in the front. The back is just kind of the house out in the middle of nowhere, and just I love this movie so much. Such a great movie, really well done. If you've never seen it, what's so cool about this movie is you really don't see much. Everything is left up to your imagination, which what Tobe Hooper did so well was you didn't see. I mean, you saw some of the aftermath, but when it was going on, you just hear screams and stuff like that, which left it up to your imagination to put together, which made it that much scarier. Because depending upon your imagination, you can go pretty far. So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then next we have, let's see here. Next we have two other Resident Evil. So I did have these before I got the collection. So the first one I got, this was actually a Horror Pack exclusive about a year and a half ago. And that's Resident Evil Afterlife. Again, great movie. It's a good steelbook. Though you can almost find this everywhere like $5 for the longest time. So this in the front and the back. I do love this movie. I love the steelbook. I'm not going to get rid of it even though I have the collection because I do love the steelbook. And the other one is Resident Evil Apocalypse. I got this at a thrift shop for I think $1, so I just picked it up. That was pretty cool. This is before I had the collection set, but you know, Apocalypse is a great movie. Actually, oddly for this movie, I actually do have a costume from this movie. I own it. It's packed away, but it's one of the zombie costumes from the graveyard scene when they're all fighting the zombies in the graveyard. I actually got one of those costumes. So from an auction that was down in LA quite a few years ago. So yeah, there's the Apocalypse. And my last horror steelbook, and I'm pretty sure I'm looking around here. This is my last one. This is a recent one I got thanks to my wife, and that was the Pet Sematary Mondo steelbook. Ah, man, this is cool. We watched it not too long ago. I love Mondo. Mondo does some really cool stuff. I've only got a couple Mondo steelbooks, but they're really cool stuff. There's actually a slipcover around the steelbook, which is really hard to get into my little plastic sleeve. But just great movie, great artwork. I mean, Mondo does really quality stuff. So Pet Sematary, really cool. So that is it. That is my horror movie steelbook collection. Now, there's a few that I left off because I kind of feel a little more sci-fi than they are horror. My next collection update will be all my science fiction steelbooks, so you'll see that, and you'll see those in there. But I kind of felt like, okay, it is technically horror, but it's technically sci-fi. I have more horror than I have sci-fi, so I decided to push those off into sci-fi. That way, my sci-fi collection will look a little bit bigger, and I have a little bit more to show you guys on that one. So, but that is it. That is my horror movie steelbook collection. I've been promising it for a while, partially because my hand's been all messed up. It's been hard for me to get this stuff out and move it around, but we're good to go. You guys finally saw what I got. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments down below. Do you have any of these Steelbooks, or is there anything you think I'm missing I should have in Steelbook? I'm a big Steelbook fan. I love them. I think they're really cool. I love the artwork on them. I love to display them. I do put them up certain spots around my room and stuff like that. I'll put them up. I'll change them out every once in a while. I love the covers. I think the covers are very beautiful and all these. Not all of them. Some of them are kind of generic. You know, like Black Panther, I can think of from the Marvel one I showed you about. It's very generic cover. I really was not a big fan of that. But some of these, especially those pop art cover art ones for the like Jennifer's Death, stuff like that, they're just awesome looking. So, but that's it. Leave me some comments down below. Do you own any of these Steelbooks? If so, which ones do you have, or which ones do you think I'm like, why'd you own that one, Big D? But leave me some comments down below. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more videos by me, because I do have several more Steelbook collection updates to be releasing out there. Thank you guys all for watching. Take care out there. Always keep hunting, because you know what? You never know what you're going to find, and that's the truth. And as always, live long and prosper.